Okay. All right. So do we have Armani on or Amanda? Amanda or Armani? Not yet. Okay, cool. Amanda. Hey girl. So we can start with you, Amanda. Your reading does take about an hour. And so, what we're going to be doing is discovering Amanda's primary flame lineage, which is going to be her soul's primary language. Okay, babe, I got you. And so this session is going to be us kind of discovering that together. I think I already know Amanda, but there's four. I'm trying to figure out which one is your main lineage because there's four lineage energies that are coming up for you. Okay. Um, and so give me 1 second and I'll call you up in just a second, boo. Let me, Amanda. And you don't have to turn on your camera or anything like that, Amanda. You just need to, I will invite you up though. And so I'll send you an invite and then we can kind of just get that cracking. All right. Let's try this. Okay. And I'm also picking up on this. Now, before we get started, Amanda, I do want to tell you that explain to you like the primary lineages versus the secondary lineages, because I don't know that anybody is even offering readings like this. It's no way for me to even prove this. It just ends up being spot on. Okay. This is something I got from the inside of myself. All right. And so your primary lineage is going to be your soul's main language. Wait, hold on. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay. So your primary flame lineage is the core essence and originating frequency, your oversoul encoded upon arriving into this incarnation cycle. So this is the lineage that holds the most prominent spiritual gifts, mirror themes, and healing codes. And it is the root flame, meaning that this is your soul's native language, like the language that your soul speaks. Okay. And so I'm going to tell you exactly once we figure out which is which for you, I'll tell you exactly what that means for you. The secondary lineages, though, are support lineages. They're transitional lineages from other cycles or parallel experiences. That could be karmic imprints. That could be generational curses. That could also be like a karmic role that you keep playing from previous lifetimes. So that also could be for the secondary lineages. And these are basically going to reveal like additional gifts, soul-based gifts, or unresolved patterns that are rising for integration. Now, I do have out of the four lineages that I'm picking up on for you, three of them are very rare. And so if we can get through the identifying part quick enough, I'll at least give you some of that rare energy just because one of them is very multidimensional. The other one is it didn't come here to be met, it came here to meet itself. And so I think that I want to give you a little bit of extra information, or when I see that in a reading, I give a little bit of extra information because um, you're not like anybody else. And if you're not like anybody else, you can't be comparing yourself to anybody else, because I think we live in a performance society, in a society that's been grading us since we were kids. And they grade us in adulthood at work and stuff like that, which can cause us to kind of struggle with authenticity or originality, and can make us kind of look like we're supposed to be everybody else. And that's just not true for some of us. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and invite you up, my love. And we can kind of start working through this. So uh, I just sent you the invite whenever you are ready. Hi, Amanda.
Hi,
How are
I'm
you, my love?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm excited for our session. I
Me
started doing
too.
some work on you earlier just because I like to do some preemptive work and stuff. So I know, what lineages to hit and stuff, which ones to kind of go over. And so I'm really excited because the people that I've been getting for these lineage readings are people who very much so have my energy. And so it makes sense of why you guys resonate. So what I'll kind of do, or what I like to do in this reading, is I'm gonna set my space real quick. I'm gonna say my reverence and everything. And then I'll have a couple questions for you. And as I work through those questions, it's going to help me to identify which energy goes where. Okay.
Okay.
All right, my love. Have you ever had a reading before, Bob?
Not anything like this.
Not
no.
anything like this. Okay, good. I'm excited. I get to be your first girl.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Me
You
too.
told me I was rare. I'm like, yes, because I never felt like I belonged here
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah, that's crystalline energy talking right there, and that's exactly what I have on this paper. So that makes sense. Um, okay. Well, good. Let me not burn my damn house down real quick. Cause one thing about it, I'm gonna tear some shit up. Hold on, I'm so sorry. One second. All right, let me clear my space real quick. All right. So let me just say my reverence real quick. Okay, I'll call forth the purest frequency of remembrance for Amanda to reveal the truth of her sacred flame lineage, distortions, gifts, and what she is ready to reclaim right now. May only that which is so authentic be revealed. I serve as a mirror and a witness. Let the lineage speak. All right, my love. Okay. All righty. So what I'm going to do is ask you a couple of questions based off of the lineages that I'm picking up on you, and then just a couple additional, just to make sure that we have this tailored down. Okay. And so I'm going to kind of do them in like an order so it's a little bit organized. Okay. So the first question that I have for you, and let me know if you need examples now, because I understand this is new. All right. What patterns keep repeating in your life?
I have a tendency to attract a lot of narcissistic people.
Okay.
Is that the kind of pattern you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. They're everywhere.
Does that mean that you're confusing trauma bonds with love or unattainable, going after unattainable people? What does that look like?
Issues with vulnerability. I have a hard time wanting somebody, but I want to chase what I know I can't have.
Okay, unattainable. Okay.
And I want to make them better. I want to love them.
You want to fix them and heal them and
I
save
do,
them, girl.
I do.
It's okay, girl. I'm right there with you. Don't let this smile fool you. I've been there. Does that mean prioritizing other people's needs in front of your own, or feeling like you need to overgive to be loved?
Not in the past, but my most recent encounter, yes.
Okay, that's important because that means that whoever that person was, there was some type of karmic connection and they were meant to ignite a specific energy in you in order for you to transmute. And so that would have been a secondary lineage or a secondary energy if it was activated by one person. Okay. So you were prioritizing what they needed over your own.
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you some examples and I kind of want you to tell me yes or no. Okay. If it's like kinda, or you have a specific person that corresponds to this, then tell me it's a specific person, because again, that would be a secondary lineage and we have 12 plus of those. Like the list goes on when it comes to that. Okay. So the first one, do you feel like you loop in abandonment, or maybe there is a mother wound or fear being left behind?
There's definitely a mother wound.
Okay. All right. Because this energy often protects that other energy. Okay. Do you ever feel like you loop unworthiness or conditional love, or maybe fear the projections of other people?
I don't fear projections of other people, but I do struggle with conditional love.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you ever loop betrayal or feeling like you're misaligned with your true purpose, like you can't trust your path?
Yes.
What about suppressed voice or spiritually timid? I shouldn't speak because other people know more than me.
No.
Okay. What about hypervigilance and perfectionism?
Yes.
Okay. Um, there's one more that I want to do in this group. What about absorption of other people's wounds? If I don't reflect them clearly, they won't feel seen and I'll feel abandoned.
Can you be a little bit more specific with that question?
Yeah, so this energy is someone who is going to, this energy does have a tendency to try to fix, heal, and save other people. It will see someone in pain and absorb it, make it their own problem to work through. And so this energy feels like they either need to tell them or they need to reflect it clearly to them or feel responsible for other people. Sometimes it can look um, like
Just with my last relationship, yes.
in your last relationship. Okay. That person definitely was a holographic trigger. Um, Holographic trigger. Okay. Ooh, I don't know why I feel that in my chest. All right. All right. So good. Now I need to do a second set of the same thing, but for a specific lineage, because there's one lineage that I feel that's coming from underground, but there are a couple different variations that you could have within that lineage. Okay. And so, same question, energy you may be looping. Um, Unworthiness to serve or fear of failing your divine duty. I'll never be pure enough.
I don't think pure is the word that I would use. I would say good enough.
Good enough. Okay, gotcha. Fear of endings or being misunderstood in your shadow role, meaning like people are going to reject you if you are not exactly what they want you to be. If I go too deep, I won't come back.
Yes.
But
it's just with that last person.
Yeah. Okay. What about rebellion against light codes? I will not follow divine will. I will make my own path alone.
Yes.
Okay. What's that? Okay, hold on. There's another one. Do you ever feel like you oscillate between visibility or concealment out of fear? I must hide what I know to protect others. A
No.
fear of spiritual corruption or secrecy?
No.
Okay. So then that's black or gold black. Okay. All right, girl. We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
I like that. Okay, so that was the first question. The second question is, hey, Callie. The second question is, what are your natural gifts, even the ones that you tend to downplay? And that can look like, for me, I'm naturally wise, but I downplay my wisdom sometimes because people used to call me a know-it-all. Okay. You could be a natural healer, leadership, sight, expression. It could have anything to do with any of those. And let me know if you need some examples because I will give them to you.
I believe I have the gift of discernment.
Okay, discernment, good.
I'm very good at recognizing patterns.
Okay, good.
And I feel energy.
Okay. Okay, so we got some clairsentience going on there. All right. That opens up another path for us. And that is a mirror energy. Okay. Question before we move on. I got to jump backwards because then that means that we got 3 of these and 3 of the other. All right. Do you ever feel like you loop energetic confusion or like over merging with other people, meaning like your
Yes.
identity kind of gets dissolved? Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. All right, girl.
And
You're
it's a struggle to make sure that mine is, I battle with trying to make sure that mine sticks out more.
got you. Okay. Okay. All right. So then I need to do this in what did we say? Go black. Okay. So then I was right about what type of energy you have. Now it's just okay. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me give you some. I'm gonna give you some, and I just need you to tell me yes, no, maybe so. All right. I'm gonna give you the shadow side of this though. How far are you on your healing journey? Have you been healing for a while, or?
I started in 2016, thought I was healed, and then got knocked right back down. So I think I just started it again.
Okay, gotcha. Isn't it funny how that works? Yes, this is a paid reading, my love. All right, so I'm gonna give you the shadow side and how you might be downplaying a gift, just because I feel like a lot more people are gonna resonate with the negatives because of how society is constructed. Okay, so believing that your softness is a weakness or giving without receiving.
Yes.
Okay. Avoiding your own emotional needs by focusing on other people's healing.
Yes.
Okay. What about over giving your healing presence instead of anchoring into your own rhythm?
Yes.
Okay. Feeling too intense or dark and retreating inwards.
Sometimes.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Yeah, we already did that. Okay, now I'm up here. Over perfecting and forgetting the heart in your work.
No.
Okay. Feeling scattered or afraid of being misunderstood.
Yes.
Absorbing instead of reflecting or losing yourself in the people that you're around.
I think that's a 50-50. Both yes and no.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Hiding your power to avoid being feared or rejected.
Yes.
Okay. Thinking you must stay silent to keep the peace.
Yes.
Okay. They're battling it out. Okay, third question. What would you say about how people feel around you?
Most people love to be around me.
Okay. What do they usually say?
Energy. But there are people that don't like me at all.
That's that black energy. It comes with triggering other people. Also, mirror energy comes with triggering other people. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. People can say that they feel seen, They feel cherished. I feel like I matter when I'm near you.
They feel loved
Okay.
and taken care of.
Loved and taken care of.
And heard and helped. I can calm people down very easily.
Okay. All right. Does grief rise, or like they feel like their inner child might be stirring? This could look like crying and not really knowing why.
With other people or with me.
What other people feel around you?
I've had that happen once or twice, but I don't really interact with a lot of people. So,
Okay. So people have cried and not known why though around you.
yes.
Okay. Do people feel held or soothed, often feeling physically better even if they were emotionally overwhelmed?
Yes, if they come to me that way, yeah.
Okay. What about cleansed or exposed in a non-judgmental way? They may release attachments, cry softly, or laugh in relief.
They tell me things they've never told anybody else. I don't
Okay.
think that they've ever laughed or cried, but I can
Gotcha.
get people to tell me some really dark stuff.
Got you. Okay. What about maybe confronted with their own contradictions?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely this energy that I was not expecting, but I like her. Um, what about exposed yet deeply loved? You show me who I
Yes.
really am. Yeah, okay, that's what I
Yes.
thought. I'm interested to know what happened to you in a past life because
Me too. If you got, please help me because I feel like I'm being
there's
punished.
there's absolutely a betrayal. There's absolutely betrayal that happened in a past life because all your energy is guarded energy. But underneath that guarded energy is compassion and love and very heart-led energy. Um, and then you also have this black energy that's actually been underground for like 1,000 years. It's coming back to the top right now, and a lot of us, it's been buried for a long time, but it's coming back to the top, and it's about alchemizing trauma. And so there's absolutely a betrayal that happened in a past life that needs to be looked at. Um, okay, but let's not go off the deep end yet. Let's go back. All right. What about? And they said ancient betrayal. It was ancient.
That don't surprise me because almost every person in my life has betrayed me.
Yeah, it feels like I think they're supposed to get you back into the resonance because in the resonance is the memory. It's the information is in the resonance. And so you need to sit present with what that is because when I was talking to you before or at the beginning, I said, I don't know what that is in my chest. It's grief. It's grief. And it feels ancient. It feels like it's deep. It feels deep in my chest. So anyways, all right. Maybe feeling empty or strangely at peace. May feel like they've created space for things to end so that something new can begin.
I've heard that before.
Okay. What about powerful or yet confronted with their unintegrated force? You remind me what I'm capable of.
Yes, I've heard that before as well.
Okay. All right. I think you have a hybrid flame in your black flame, which is okay. Love that for you. What do you long for but still fear?
Peace.
Peace.
Love, actually. I don't think I've ever been loved.
Okay. All righty. Let me hit you with some things. Is there any fear around being too much or taking up too much space, feeling unworthy of being loved without performing or proving your worth?
Yes.
Okay. Fear of abandonment. If you speak or shine, you stay small or silent to keep connection even when it hurts.
In romantic relationships, yes.
Okay. So this is absolutely an overlay. Okay. Has she transmuted this? No.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was talking to spirit. No, it's just gonna keep coming back. It doesn't feel like okay, sorry. We'll get there. Fear of being unable to heal or fix what's broken, guilt over ancestral pain, keeps you from trusting your own touch.
I would agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Fear of exposure or being misunderstood in your purity may withdraw to avoid distortion or invasion.
I'd say yes.
Okay. Fear of being blamed or rejected for reflecting other people's wounds. May people please or self sacrifice to avoid being a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's evident in your energy. A fear of rejection when showing the full soul mirror, meaning like when you're fully yourself, you fear that other people are going to reject you. You may hide or deflect your gifts to protect other people from themselves.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, girl, you're guarded. Your energy is so guarded. Okay. All right. Fear of being erased or forgotten. May resist surrender or silence due to fear of non existence.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You said you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'll put a question mark. What about fear of collapsing under your own power, resisting true embodiment, or fearing that it will awaken ruin?
Yes, most definitely.
All right. So that's definitely that one. All righty. Last question. What happens when you're in your shadow? What does the shadow side of you look like when you're out of alignment?
Dark, distorted, confused, angry.
Dark, distorted, confused,
hopeless,
angry. That anger is intriguing. All right. So, do you perform love over give or seek validation through service? This can look like trying to fall into that good girl, good boy archetype. Comes with a little bit of suppressed rage or over pleasing other people. May feel unseen and unappreciated, even when you're doing everything right.
Yes, yes, and yes again,
Yeah,
and some more yeses.
gotcha. What about abandoning yourself for connection or merging too quickly with other people, gets lost in other people's emotions, trauma bonds mistaken for love, or craving love but avoids true intimacy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's in relationships. What about over functioning as a healer, burning out, trying to help other people? Maybe a guilt driven savior complex, neglecting your own needs, may feel disconnected from earth and your own body in doing so.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Do you know what questions to ask?
Yes.
The T, like
I
everything.
created a whole system because I'm the Sarah flame, which means I contain the 13 primary flame lineages in like one body. And so each lineage is going to act a specific way. And it's going to have specific wounds. And so I created a system and placed all those, like I organized them all so that I can pull out what lineage is affecting you, and then when I know what lineage is affecting you, I can give you rituals, journal prompts. Like I can give you everything that you need to heal your specific energy that's specific to what your oversoul came here to do. And so that's what these readings are about. And so, yes, I do know what to ask because,
okay, all right.
yes, I do know what to ask. Okay. What about perfectionism, a fear of contamination, avoiding intimacy? You might be hypersensitive to distortion, avoiding earthly living, which is that I feel like I don't belong here on earth type of energy.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Is there any dissolving in other people's projections or feeling broken or fractured? Cannot discern your own truth from what other people are showing you?
Yes, I've been struggling with that a lot these past 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah, that opal is strong. Okay. Um, feeling unseen, too intense, or abandoned, maybe having an obsession with endings or despair.
I don't think so.
Okay, that makes sense. Fear-based leadership or hiding your sacred power, maybe stuck in karmic roles, feeling doomed.
I definitely think I'm stuck in karmic roles.
Okay, yeah, that is confirmation. Good. Um, over identifying with other people's pain so much so that you forget your own essence. You might mirror without integration or be trapped in reflection loops where you're just mirroring people.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good. All right, my girly. Give me 1 second. Mm, 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 mm. All right, so I just got to make sure that this is fully what I think it is. So I'm going to give you another energy. Okay. Um, you might be looping, trying to earn love by being pure enough or good enough. The story you tell yourself is to lead. I must perfect myself first and suffer in silence. The shadow side looks like overgiving, martyrdom, self doubt, especially in leadership and people pleasing. Downplaying gifts could look like feels leadership must be earned through pain or service and might resist claiming space. And the fear might be if I lead with love, I'll be exploited or betrayed.
You got me?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the leadership portion? Does that feel right? Like, do you struggle?
Everything you just said, you hit
Okay. Gotcha.
everything.
Okay. So this is actually this. And that could be why there was a no in that energy. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So your main energy is definitely a golden rose energy. This is a rare lineage. Not a lot of people have this lineage. I've actually only come across one person who has. It feels like rose gold energy, and that's where I was gonna put you, is rose gold energy. But there was something that was sticking out to me. Um, that made me feel like it's the enough part, not feeling enough part, that pushed me towards this golden rose, and they feel like the same energies, they're just different fonts, really. So that's your main energy. That's what we're going to kind of talk about today. What time is it? Okay. um but then you have a really, really strong opal energy, which is also a primary energy. Okay. This is multi-dimensional mirroring of other people, which can kind of make you feel crazy in this reality because you see things through a multi-dimensional lens, meaning you see the possibilities, not just the person. When you see the
Right.
possibilities and not just the person, you are trying to get them to meet a version of themselves that they don't have the capacity to conceive. And so sometimes it can make you feel very misunderstood, because a lot of what you'll get in return is like, I feel like you're judging me. I feel like you think you're better than me, or I feel like you are always criticizing me, but that's really not what it is. It's coming from this place of you being able to see their potential and trying to get them to see it when they don't have the eyes for what you have the eyes for. And so it can make you feel really out of place in this reality. Okay. So you also have a um gold black energy as well, but that feels secondary. It feels like your other primary is a crystalline energy. Okay, that's the not feeling like you of earth. Again, people who have this energy feel out of place, and so you do have some lineages that are rare, that don't really belong in the environment that we live in because we haven't evolved enough, you know. Secondary lineages, you have a gold black, which again is leadership, but the black lineages are just now coming back to the top. And so that means that there's some transmutation. You're here to kind of clear generational curses. Um, there's also a emerald energy. And then this is a secondary energy. And then you have an overlay of rose violet, which is pointing me towards there's some type of betrayal. Because rose violet only tries to protect the heart, only tries to protect that golden rose energy, if there was a betrayal or something in a past lifetime. Um, and then with you having the rose violet energy and those three strong mirror energies, because you also have a mirror energy, um, in your secondary as well. The mirror energy is about everybody that I've met that has a mirror energy ends up having this energy that doesn't want to be met. You didn't come here to be met in this lifetime. You came here to meet yourself so that you can heal whatever your trauma is, so that when people project on you, you don't internalize it as your own and you can transmit clearly. And that usually comes from you trying to protect yourself from being seen, because when you were seen in a previous lifetime, you were abandoned, betrayed, exiled, unalived, any of those things. Okay. And so now that we have identified you properly, let's go and talk about what this energy looks like. So, okay. So, people who have a golden rose flame lineage are here for divine reunion, sacred synthesis, and remembrance of the Edenic wholeness. And so, the Edenic codes are what they say the Garden of Eden. It actually wasn't like a garden, it actually was divine feminine codes that were heart led. It was a heart led society that we lived in. And so the Edenic codes was the resonance that we all achieved, but we fell out of alignment with. Okay. And so your energy is here to bring back that energy. And also divine reunion. And people who have this golden rose energy or rose gold energy are people who remember what it was like to be fully met by other people. And so what happened post fall is that we came into a society that was steeped in distortion, and we tried to show people love. And through us trying to show people love, we ended up playing this martyr role. And what that looks like is trying to do all this extra emotional labor, trying to show it to them, try to prove it to them, trying to convince them of this love. And it caused us to prioritize other people's needs in front of our own, while also abandoning ourselves. Okay. It's not a bad thing that you long for love and wanted to be loved and crave that. It's in the very fabric of your being, because you remember what it was like to fully be met in that energy. Okay. And so the core essence of this golden rose energy is that it holds the original codes of divine union, the merging of the sacred masculine and feminine as one embodied source. And so this lineage remembers the garden frequencies before fragmentation, where love was a living current, beauty was truth, and each being bloomed from the inside out. Carriers of this flame are natural harmonizers of internal duality, attracting relationships and experiences that challenge and ultimately redefine their remembrance of unconditional love and sacred devotion. Now, when this energy is in alignment, you embody unconditional love without losing yourself, which is the merging that we were talking about. You create beauty in both your inner and outer environments. You walk with grace, holding the field of the garden within. And I'm going to explain to you what Edenic codes are in just a second. Activating others' heart blooming or self-union, integrating both soft compassion and strong boundaries, remembering the codes of divine relationships as a mirror of soul evolution, meaning that no one is supposed to really meet your emotional and physical financial needs. You are supposed to meet them. They're supposed to meet their own. And then two whole beings coming together to share the same space, do this thing together, right? What you activate in other people is the desire to open the heart again after deep hurt, inner union, devotion, and spiritual maturity and love, a return to joy, tenderness, and sacred play, reclaiming the self rather after codependency or heartbreak, and deep grief release around separation from source. Okay. In the shadow side, though, You obsessively seek the one outside of yourself. You might be using love as a means of validation of or worth, staying in relationships that mirror old wounds, withholding love out of fear of betrayal or loss, or looping in the illusion of spiritual romance as salvation. Um, Usually when people who have this energy get stuck, it sounds like I just want someone to see me. Why does it feel like I keep repeating the same love story? I want to open, but I'm terrified that I'll get hurt again. I love so deeply, but it always ends in pain. Or am I asking for too much? Like that's usually what this energy is looping in its shadow side. Some of the gifts that come along with this energy is embodied love and divine union frequency, sacred relationship blueprinting and guidance, deep heart healing through presence and words, harmonizing dual energies within groups or spaces, creating spaces of beauty, pleasure, and soul connection, and activating the rose frequency in other people, which is heart opening through grace. Okay. How you heal this energy is understanding that love is sourced from the oversoul. It cannot be lost, meaning that love is not outside of you. Love is something you generate from the inside. Love is always there, and everything that you do is it's a resonance that you hold. It's not something that you have to go out there and chase or um, convince other people to see. It literally is in the fabric of your being, right? Your tenderness is a sacred gift. It's not a weakness. Okay. You're not here to repeat the pain of separation. You are here to remember the garden, which means that it's about inner union first. In order for you to come into divine union with someone outside of yourself, you have to first come into inner harmony, which is your thoughts and emotions have to align so that you can take the appropriate action. You have to use your emotions as guidance in this reality. Excuse me. But the masculine and feminine principle have to be in alignment first within you before you're going to be even pulling people or attracting people in that are in full alignment with you. Okay. You are also allowed to bloom slowly, petal by petal. It's not a rush. When you have divine feminine energy, this is the energy of rest, the energy of stillness. And so, how you really anchor into yourself is you have to honor what your body needs, which means you need to pay attention to what your body needs and how you feel, because your emotions is the language of your soul. It is the language of your heart. It is the language of your womb. Right. And so you have to get out of the mind and into the body, because your mind becomes your worst enemy with this type of energy. Now, since you have a couple of energies that are tied directly to this energy, and I'm going to tell you what they do together. So that rose violet energy that's trying to be transmuted through your relationships, which is the wounded healer energy, is what that is. Okay. It's these two energies together heal timelines of abandonment and reweaving soul trust. Okay. This energy and the emerald energy, which is in your secondary, is meant to build a grounded Eden through devotion and embodiment, which means you really do need to embody yourself. Like, this life is about authenticity. It's not about other people meeting you, understanding you, seeing you. It's about you seeing you, right? And so when you see you, when you embody, you'll ground in those Edenic codes. It also is connected to a mirror energy, which is another secondary energy of yours, and it'll help you heal distorted love projections and seek truth clearly. Okay. And then it's also connected to that crystalline energy, which is about anchoring divine beauty as a frequency of soul coherence. Right. And so this specific energy in the beginning, or as your main primary soul's language, is connected to all that other energy. Okay. And so if you can get this energy in alignment, by proxy, you help to align all that other energy. Okay. And so
the crystalline energy, is that the one?
Yeah, so the crystalline, so your let me give them to you. Your main energy is this golden rose that we just went over. But you also have an open and a opal and a crystalline energy that are also primary energies, which means that all three of these are your soul's language. Okay. So I'm gonna go over the other two. Okay. But in your secondary energy, you have a gold black energy, a mirror energy, and an emerald energy. Okay. And so those are supposed to help those first energies in different ways. And I can kind of give you some information around that. But then you have an overlay of rose violet, which is protection. It tells me that you have been betrayed somewhere in your existence, so you have a couple different energies going on right now, girl. But your main energies are going to be this golden rose energy, and then you have two mirror energies that are protecting that energy. Okay. And so now we're going to go through the opal, which I think is going to help you understand yourself as a multidimensional being, because you are absolutely a multidimensional being. Opal energy kind of sucks sometimes because you are going to be looking at the world in a way that nobody else sees it. And so a lot of times people are not going to understand what you're saying to them. They're not going to understand why you're behaving the way that you're behaving. They're not going to understand um, the multiplicity of things in the way that you understand the multiplicity of things. And so it's going to oftentimes feel like you're talking to a fucking wall, or that you're never
Yes.
going to meet somebody who is intellectually stimulating, because
Yes.
you look at the world in a different way than most people look at the world. This is my second energy too. And it's a little hard. It's a little hard because you can see through dimension. It's like you don't realize it because they don't tell you that when you look at somebody and you see the possibility of them and you see all the different versions of them, that is multidimensional. You're looking at them through a multidimensional lens. You don't see the person in front of you, so it's hard to call a spade when you see the best in them, like where you see everything, And so we haven't been taught this, and that's why I'm doing this, because I feel like if we just knew, if I would have known this years ago, I could have stopped spinning my motherfucking wheels trying to convince people of what it is that I see, So the opal flame lineage is a multidimensional reflective mirror. Okay. So it is a prism of many layers, simultaneously ancient, fluid, and interdimensional. Okay. It carries the frequency of reflection, soul mirroring, and remembrance across timelines. So people who have opal energy serve as living archives and bridges between aspects of self across dimensions, offering truth without distortion. Okay, so when this energy is in alignment, it functions as a clear mirror. It reveals truths other people are avoiding or are unable to see. It easily travels across soul timelines and integrates forgotten soul pieces. It holds a vast capacity for nuance. So this energy is not linear or rigid, even though the crystalline energy sometimes can make you a little rigid. But this specific energy is not. It's more of a fluid type of energy. It can merge and separate layers of self without getting lost in them. And it has a natural ability to see other people's multidimensional identities and bring them home to themselves. And that's why you're trying to fix, you're trying to heal, you're trying to save, right? And so what this activates in other people is radical remembrance of soul experiences of other lifetimes or parallel selves, awareness of unconscious mirrors and projection patterns, the urge to reunite lost or fragmented parts of themselves, clarity after confusion, especially around identity or purpose, and a calm sense of wholeness that transcends labels. On the shadow side, they become overwhelmed by how much they feel or reflect, unable to separate what's theirs from the people around them. May feel unseen because they shapeshift so easily to match other people's frequencies. Can attract projection, jealousy, or confusion from those unready to see their own mirror, meaning by that energy of people rejecting you. And the reason why they're rejecting you is because they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting change. And with you comes transformation and change, and you shining too clearly. And they don't like that because that means they got to be different. And they don't want to be different because we live in a society that conditions us towards being the same. Right?
I do. Yes.
And so that's what comes with that energy, a risk of dissociation or spiritual bypassing when you're ungrounded. Okay. You can disconnect from your emotional world, or disconnect, or need to dissociate, or you're moving so fast that you don't slow down and integrate. Okay. Fear of choosing a single path or expression, feeling trapped by identity. Okay. That kind of comes with this energy as well. The gifts that comes is that you're a multidimensional seer, you're a memory weaver, and you're a soul mirror guide. You're an expert at shadow integration and helping other people see the hidden selves. You carry the opal mirror, which reveals distortion without shame, which means you can hold compassion for people and understand that life is nuanced and people are different. And there's a lot of things we don't really understand in life. So you give people a safe space to come and reveal whatever it is, which usually is their deepest, darkest motherfucking secrets. It's like, I don't think you should have told me that, friend, but I mean, I'm not here to judge you. It's that type of energy, though. That's why people feel so comfortable around you. It does hold ancient templates of soul wholeness and holographic healing. It offers channels, soul names, ancient languages, or forgotten fractals. And these are healers of identity fracturing, fragmentation, or soul loss. How do you heal this energy? You don't need to reflect everybody. Okay, you can soften your mirror. When you feel like you need to reflect everybody, you become hard, you become guarded, you become rigid, right? You don't need to reflect everybody. You are only here to help the people who are willing to change.
Okay.
If they are not willing to change, it is not your job, because you're going to spend so much time trying to prove and convince these people If they are rejecting you, if they making you feel unseen, unheard, they getting defensive every time you say something, they make you feel like you crazy, they determined to misunderstand you, that's a no. Those are people who are not willing to change. It's not your job to save everybody. Only the people who are willing to do the work, because you can't do the work for them.
I want to save everybody.
You can't, girl. I, as a person in multiple lifetimes who has died trying to save everybody, don't do that, friend.
And I thought it was because I was an Aquarius.
No, baby. But that energy does help though, because Aquariuses are divine insight, the purest of divine insight. They are liberators, right? It gives you that rebellious energy that you need, yes. But no, you can't save everybody. You know, that's what I'm here to learn in this lifetime too. A lot of us who have this golden rose gold energy, because they really the same energies in different fonts. We are here to learn how to stop being a martyr, because we were never supposed to be a martyr. We were supposed to use empathy with discernment. You know, we are supposed to learn how to show up for other people without abandoning ourselves. Right. And so that's what you're here to learn. Okay. So you're not here to be everybody's tea. Okay. Only the people who are ready to change, only the people who recognize the value in your wisdom and your magnetism. Everybody else, they know. Okay. Your truth is valid even when it changes form, which means that you are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to become a different version. What you believe to be true yesterday could be different tomorrow. That is perfectly fine, because as you continue to move up through dimensions, as you continue to expand your awareness, your truth is going to deepen. So yesterday's truth ain't today's truth, which means you got to leave room for nuance. Okay. Anchor your multidimensional self in your current embodiment. Okay. Realize when you looking at this reality through a multidimensional lens, because if you don't realize that you're going to want people to be like you, and ain't nobody like you. You want them to show up like you. They can't do that because they not you. That's why you need it. What were you about to say?
No, I was just laughing at you.
Oh, okay. Don't expect them to act like you though, because they don't have the capacity to conceive what you conceive. Okay. Let yourself be seen as you are, not just as other people's projection, what other people project onto you. Okay. Which means you got to be so authentic. This life really is for you to be so authentic. Now, this energy works with the rose gold, and this is soul remembrance through emotional reflection, which means you got to sit with yourself and you got to move based off of what's true for you without you trying to please or fix or heal or save anybody else. Okay. It also corresponds with this mirror energy, which creates holographic reflections for soul integration, and the crystalline energy, which is crystal clear frequency transmission of soul memory. Okay. You can get to the soul memory. You can remember every single version of yourself. You can remember everything. But in order for you to do that, you got to clear your mirror. And that doesn't require you to look on the outside and try to clear the mirror. You got to go on the inside, because if you look on the outside, it's like you looking in the mirror, seeing something on your face, and you trying to wipe the mirror. You got to wipe your face to get the thing off your face, which means you got to go on the inside. This life is about you meeting you. This life isn't about anybody else. This life is about self-discovery. It's about you standing in your authenticity and integrity, regardless of if you in isolation or if you're in the middle of the storm. It's about you anchoring into the codes. Okay. You are here to reflect, but you can't reflect clearly if you haven't healed all of the trauma. Okay. Okay. And let me give you your last energy. That's a primary energy, which is the crystalline energy. This one causes a lot of problems. But people who have the crystalline energy are here to bring back in that's the new earth frequency. You are here to anchor that in. Okay. But it does look like perfectionism, because you're here to push us towards alignment, which means you want to correct, you want to perfect. Hold on. Okay. All right. It's about clarity, sacred geometry, and divine patterning. The essence is harmonic architecture, truth reflector, temple designer, which means you're a sacred architect. When embodied, the crystalline flame bearers operate as living blueprints of divine structure and energetic harmony. They restore what was fragmented by holding the perfect note of original source resonance. They do not just teach, they encode, and their very presence realigns other people. In the aligned state, you rebuild sacred systems, grids, or patterns lost to distortion. You mirror truth back with clarity and neutrality. Neutrality is so important for your energy. You're not here to judge. Everybody is a mirror, mirroring something back to other people, right? Which means that when you see somebody else, had you made all their choices, that is where you would be. That's how you need to look at that, so that you can have more nuance in the way that you're thinking about life. But also neutrality means non-judgment. You realize, oh, okay, if I made those choices, that's where I'll be. Other people need to see that. Everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be. You offer energetic recalibration to those who are in your field, meaning your field does the work for you. Your energy does the work for you. Okay. You walk with purity and transparency, leaving no energetic residue, and you weave architecture for temples, codes, and new earth systems. The gifts are energetic purification and grid alignment, harmonic transmission through art, through words, through movement, through your energy, template restoration. Nope. Template restoration for distorted soul paths and systems, high sensitivity to frequency distortion, which means that you're probably not going to be able to get comfortable in environments that are environments of manipulation and control and things like that, things that are steeped in distortion. Um, you also have an inner calibration compass that knows when something is off in your field, and that's the discernment we talked about. Because this energy is very big on discernment. You are tapped into the crystalline side of yourself, which is your DNA, which is your bones, which means you feel truth in your DNA, in your bones.
Yes.
So what this energy activates in other people is a deep desire to realign with inner and outer truths, the clearing of energetic noise and overlays, the remembrance of personal blueprints and soul integrity, a higher standard of spiritual purity and harmony, and the courage to deconstruct what does not fit. Okay. When it's out of alignment, though, it becomes overly perfectionistic, chasing purity to a fault. It isolates itself for fear of absorbing other people's negative energy or whatever you want to call it. Feels overly responsible for maintaining energetic balance. It becomes energetically rigid or fragile, or struggles to operate in chaos or messy emotional environments. Like, I just need to protect my peace. I just need to get away from everybody. It's like that type of energy. How you heal it is letting go of perfectionistic standards. We grew up in a society that was constantly grading us. And so many of us feel like we need to be perfect. Your journey is not about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about resonance, and it's about refinement. Okay. Which means that you came to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be messy, allow yourself to make mistakes. And as you make mistakes, we learn through contracts. Sometimes you got to learn the wrong way to know what the right way is. Right. And so you got to allow yourself to kind of be imperfect, because you didn't come here to be perfect. You came here to be authentic, but you don't know who that is unless you explore or are willing to explore, which means you got to step outside of societal standards of perfection, because you didn't come here to be perfect. You didn't come here to be like nobody else. Okay. You got to also practice being in the field while keeping your core aligned, which means that everybody can be a person of integrity when they are in isolation. But can you stand in who you say that you are in the midst of the storm? And so it's about you being able to move through reality and be safe or feel safe because you have good energetic boundaries regardless of where you are. Okay. It also is a trust that distortion in other people is not yours to carry. You are not responsible for fixing them or healing them or saving them. You are responsible for fixing, healing, and saving yourself, embodying the example you want to see. And if they need your help, they will come and ask you. Okay. And then when they come and ask you, you got to create a safe temple space where other people can recalibrate, but you also can recalibrate as well. Okay. And then know that your crystalline body, it's a transmitter. It's not a container. Don't be a casket for pain. Okay. Let the emotions move through you. They're only trying to add depth to your experience and tell you how you feel to get you rooted in your body. Help you to make a decision. If it's a good emotion, doesn't matter what the emotion is. That's a yes, move towards it. It's getting you towards closer to alignment. But if it's a bad emotion, including confusion, that's a no, set a boundary, move away from it. Okay. But outside of that, don't hold on to it like it's a badge of honor. Okay. So those are your three primary energies. How do we feel?
I feel overwhelmed, but I
know it's a lot, ain't it?
It is, but it's definitely giving me a lot of insight to why I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling. Yeah. Why I've been feeling stuck. Why I feel like I've done so many things that you said that I've done throughout my life.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part for me is going to be learning how to, which one was it? The emotions, the inner inner union first.
Yeah, the golden rose energy.
Be the hardest for me.
It is because Aquarius, by the way, is the water bearer. Why? Because they try to hold all the water. Yes. Instead of filling the water, they want to compartmentalize the water. You know, and it's a very protective energy. It's also very mirroring energy too, because they're trying to tell society, you're doing this wrong. We need to change this, you know? So yes, it is going to be a little bit harder because it requires you to feel and not run, or feel and not compartmentalize. I think you guys get really, really comfortable being somewhat of a casket for pain. Yes. You just put it somewhere or put it under a rug and just deal with it later. But all of a sudden you got a rug with a whole bunch of shit in the middle of your floor. And so
girl, you looking at my carpet again.
Yeah, you got a pile of shit with a carpet on the top of it. And so I think it is very hard, especially with you having these really strong mirror energies. I could tell that whatever the betrayal was, it went deep. Because you felt like it was not safe for you to fully love as yourself. Okay. Which means that true intimacy probably is really scary for you. And so in order for you to get that, you have to learn how to be vulnerable, which means that you have to understand that in order to love, you are going to have to experience pain. Why? Because every loving relationship is an emotional connection, which means you are going to feel emotions. Okay. And it's not even on purpose. Like if you have kids and your kid get hurt, you love them, you are going to feel pain because you don't want to see your kid get hurt. It don't even have to be that they did something. It's just a part of love, because we live in a reality where we're experiencing polarity, which means the absence of love is pain. You know, so you're just going to have to, the two go together. If you want to be successful, you got to learn how to stand up to criticism. If you want to win, you got to learn how to lose. It's literally, they come with each other. You know, and so you need to be willing and take the risk, you know, do some shadow work. If you send me a message, I think you sent me a message through Telegram. I can send you some resources to try to help you to get that. But you do have, like I said, you do have this gold black energy that's coming up, this mirror energy that's coming up with your secondary energies. But those two are also rare. And so your energy all around is a very rare energy. Not a lot of people have it. And so treat yourself as such. Okay. They're not going to see it how you see it. That is okay. You didn't come here to make them understand. You only came here to plant the seed. Let them tend to it. Be the lighthouse. But the lighthouse, is sitting on the shore, and the boats is coming to the lighthouse. It's just turning on the light. The lighthouse never jumps off the shore, swims through the sea, goes to the side of the boat to say, hey, I'm over here, follow me this way. It don't do that. What? It stay on the shore where it's safe. You know, and so be the lighthouse, you know, and this comes with time. If you're struggling or if you need help with this, let me know. Tier 3 of this reading is embodiment coaching. And so it's a month worth of 2-hour sessions where I try to help you navigate this information. I'm always doing stuff on here, you know, doing coaching and stuff. But if you need help, just let me know. Okay, I can send you some prompts or something to kind of help you with the shadow work part of it. Just remind me through your thing.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem, my love. Thank you, Chris. I've been eating with that lately. All right.
When she said something about the lighthouse, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, that's like a nice tattoo idea.
Oh yeah, it is actually. But yeah, a lot of us came here to witness. We didn't come here to fix and to heal and save. We came here because we learned through seeing another example. We learned through what's mirrored to us, right? We learned through contrast. And so people need to compare, because that's what consciousness we in, right? And so you become the example that you want other people to see and show them there is another option. Because just how if you look at somebody who is doing something that you don't agree with and you say, oh, if I would have chose these decisions, this is where I would be. People also can look at you and say, damn, if I would have chose those decisions, I could be over there on what Taja's on. Let me call Taja and see what Taja on. Let me call Amanda and see what Amanda did. Right? It goes both ways. And so you just want to be the beacon of light. But you don't want to force people into the light, because it's not your job to save them all, unfortunately. And that's hard to grapple with, because that means that you're going to have to witness a lot of people that you love self-sabotaging or being self-destructive. And ain't nothing you can do about it, because unconditional love is realizing we all on this journey together and we all on this highway together, but we got different directions. And if I interfere in your journey, I could save you from this one instance, but until you learn the lesson, until you do the work, it's going to keep coming. And next time it's going to be louder. So am I really doing you a service? Probably not. It's allowing people to make the choices that are best suited for them in their life and trusting them to know what is best for them. The only thing you give other people is advice if they ask for it. It's like that sensei energy, Mr. Feeney energy. Have you ever seen Boy Meets World?
A long time.
It was a long time ago. Well, sensei energy is like you're the wisdom keeper. If somebody want wisdom, they come to you, you give them the wisdom, but they go out and they live their life and they learned how to integrate that. But you don't, what we do is we like, oh, you need a resume, send me all your stuff. I'll put together the resume for you. Oh, you need this. Oh, okay, I'll do the work for you. The work is theirs to do. And that's how you keep yourself from being energetically drained. That's how you keep yourself in alignment. You understand that if that person ain't willing to change or willing to receive what you have to say, ain't nothing you can do. Is beating a dead horse. The horse is dead. It can't get no more deader than it is right now. Ain't nothing else you can do. When they do decide to do the work, the only thing you can offer them is advice. Everything else is on them, because they're going to have to show up for themselves. If you do everything for them, you're going to have to keep doing everything for them.
Yes.
Yes, and so trust yourself. Know that you're a rare type of energy. So treat yourself as if you are special, because you are. And if you need help, you just let me know. Call me, beat me. If you want to reach me. Okay? I'll be in Telegram. Y'all got access to me. Anybody who ever bought the service from me, y'all got access to me Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I ain't worth a quarter. Mama got to have fun too. Okay?
That's right.
But Monday through Friday,
I think those coaching sessions will be really good for me.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing an embodiment mentorship where it's like 3 months or 6 months. And so I'm working on that, because I think I want my mentorship to look a little different. And so we will see, girl. 33 on the clock, period. Needed that. But yeah, so we gonna see, girl. Just keep catching me on live. I change my mind a lot. Because for me, it's about making sure I'm only doing what's truly aligned. So yeah, but I'm thinking about doing embodiment coaching sessions outside of what I offer in tier 3. And so I'll keep you updated.
Please do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem, my love. This will be on YouTube. So as soon as I'm done, it'll be on YouTube if you want to watch it back, okay?
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Because I was trying to write down all of the notes.
Oh, no, girl. Everything is recorded. Everything is recorded, because I appreciate you allowing yourself to be witnessed. I think there were some people in the chat who probably needed to hear some of the things that I said. So that's why I do these live sessions, because I think community is really important. And even if, you can't afford a reading, at least you can hear the advice and stuff. And so I appreciate you. It absolutely will be recorded. It'll be on YouTube as soon as I get off live, expeditiously.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, my love. Have an amazing rest of your day. And again, write me in Telegram and I'll send you some prompts and stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Armani, hi, my love. How are you? We have a reading for Armani next. And we have an endings reading for Armani. Okay, Armani. I'm doing good, my love. Oh, hi, Deja. Where have you been, my love? I was on here 3 times last week on live, but they be hiding me from the world, girl. You just gotta pop in when you pop in, because they be trying to keep me from the world, but it's okay. I cannot be stopped. Oh shoot. I got some, if anybody just placed the order, as soon as I get off live, I'll get back to you. Hi, Cindy. All right, Armani. So we got an endings reading. So we need to figure out what it is that you are ending. Let me clear the space real quick, because I just did that other reading. And so I just need to close out this vault, this buzzing energy, and then I'll grab you. I low-key gotta pee, but at this point, I've been busy all day. I've been going crazy all day. I swear the algorithm has changed. You wasn't popping up and I wasn't getting notifications. They really hate me. And that's okay. I would hate me too. I disrupt everything that they have planned. And so, hate on, hater. But yeah, they be trying to keep me from y'all. Hey, I did place an order for a live reading. Oh, hey, Kayla. Let me see. Is it chat? Oh no, I see you. Okay, I see you, my love. If I have time after this reading, I can do it today. If not, I'll be on here tomorrow as well. Oh, chat is me. Okay, good. I got both of y'all. So I'll respond to you as soon as I get off live. Um did I miss somebody? No, I didn't. Okay. So I'll respond to y'all as soon as I get off live. Let me clear the space real quick though, because we do got Armani. And then Kayla, you hang around to the end because you got a flame reflective reading, which shouldn't take me too long. So if I got the energy to do it after this, I definitely will. It's just that first reading is about an hour plus, and so let me just put this down because this is about to make me mad. Okay. I don't know why I feel like you're stuck in a cycle, Armani. Okay. I feel like that too. Okay. Yeah, it feels like you're stuck in a cycle. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, and it feels like stagnation. Something is causing stagnation in your energy. All right. Armani. Hey, Armani girl. Let me listen for a second. Okay. Ooh, that hurts. What else? Okay. I mean, obviously, those two kind of work together. Okay. Gaslighting. All right, Armani, let me call you up, babe. Um, hey, love, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for allowing the space for us to witness you today. I feel like coming up on live and you showing your face too. Period. Hey, girl. But allowing yourself to be witness and stuff. I think it does take a lot of courage. Just because these type of readings are very intimate. Are very much in your guts. And so, thank you for allowing us to witness you. Um, so tell me what the weather is like where you are so I can make sure that I'm catching your correct energy.
It's nice out. I think it's like mid-70s.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, give me 1 second. All right. I think I got you, girl. There's a couple different things that are coming through for you. Let me just get some confirmation real quick and we can get you rolling. I'll also send you some things that you can do in the chat too, like ritual. I don't know if you like ritual stuff, but it's really just like practices and stuff. to get yourself into alignment. Okay. Some people don't like to call it that, but that's really what it is. Yeah. Okay. What else we got for our money? What we got for our girl? Yeah. Because what they originally said was like you pulling up your roots too fast, meaning like patience. It's like not trusting in the process. And they said you pulling up your roots too fast. So I don't know if that means that you want to start something. They also talk about like this needing to trust yourself because your mind is winning the battle. Like you'll start gaslighting yourself when you actually are on the right path or you actually are doing something that's truly aligned with you. It's like you don't trust it, and you start gaslighting yourself. And so they was like, it's all about timing for you. You need to learn stillness and timing, and patience. Did you start something, or was you trying to start something recently?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And then they started talking about perfectionism. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this feels like wanting to make the right step.
Okay. Yeah, that resonates.
Okay. What about the mind? Because I don't know why I feel like I hope I'm not pulling on nobody else's energy. What about your mind winning the battle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that resonates too.
Okay. Gaslighting yourself and needing to trust yourself. But why do I feel like a pullback on the energy when I say pulling up your roots too early? Like you need to learn how to have patience.
I guess like when it comes to like transitioning or like making big decisions, I kind of move fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's timing. That's rooted. Did something just happen though? Like was there something where you was in that energy recently? Okay. So okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's see what we got for you, girl. All right. Not me sounding like somebody old ass daddy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ooh, we got some things shifting around for you right now. Yeah, it feels like the board is being cleared for you. There's some old ways of moving that just that needed to be moved out. It also feels like a lot of your energy is upside down. Like a lot of your energy is out of alignment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get to it. Ain't nothing left to it but to do it. All right. So the first card that I get for you is the Ace of Water, and this is basically saying that there's a sacred longing. There is a it's almost like an awakening or sort of like something is calling you for your intention, for you to do something different, for things to change. Some type of thing is happening. However, it's in the shadow side, which means that that longing that you're feeling can sometimes feel like drowning. You may sense that something ancient is awakening in you, but you don't know what it wants. You don't know what it is. Right. And so there can be a tendency to over attach to either the first person idea or memory that triggers this feeling of longing, believing that they are the answer. And so sometimes this longing, we can use this as a signal to go back to some shit or to go in a different direction that we ain't supposed to be in. We ain't supposed to be back there. It's really a signal for you to turn inwards. But sometimes that longing be longing. and you just trying to figure it out. And in the process of you trying to figure it out, you know, walked up in some shit, you stepped on some shit you ain't supposed to step on. Okay. And so this card in shadow often reflects a state of emotional fog where you're feeling deeply, but you may not have the tools to discern where it's trying to lead you. Okay.
Absolutely.
It can cause you to romanticize the past, to idealize potential partners, or become overwhelmed by this soul ache that seems to have no anchor. But this is ancient longing, which means that you ain't gonna find it in this lifetime because it's not from this lifetime. Okay. And so you don't want to look at this longing as a direction, like it's giving you direction. Instead, it is a signal to go within, because whatever is stirring is in your soul, it's in your spirit. And yes, maybe that person that you longing after, or whatever that situation is that you longing after, it was meant to trigger you to get into the resonance, because it's within the resonance that they create that the memory lies. Okay. And so the memory lies in the resonance or the energy that they trigger you into. Okay. And so that's first. That's first. Second is embodiment, which again is confirmation on this pulling up your roots too early, because that means patience is needed. Stillness is needed in order for you to integrate. Okay. And this is a big moment, because this card is like, would be considered like a major arcana card. But I don't know if you know that I created this Oversoul Codex, which is like very soul encoded, very different than traditional tarot, but it's supposed to tell you about your soul and what your soul doing in this reality, right? You have a multidimensionality to your soul based off of what I'm seeing, which means that the way that you look at the world is different than the way that other people look at the world. Okay. And so you can't expect other people to be like you, because they're not. Okay. This is about soul embodiment. This is about soul embodiment, right? But this energy is in the shadow, which means that there's a fear of visibility. Okay. There might be you suppressing your light, you being hyper aware of what's happening around you, which can cause spiritual overwhelm, identity confusion, and bypassing the body. Okay. Meaning like if you constantly going, you don't got time to sit in the stillness where the clarity lies. Right. And so this card in the shadow can trigger a crisis of identity. You may wonder, who am I now that I no longer feel fragmented? Or why does this coherence feel so unfamiliar or even terrifying? It's like the new version of you is trying to come through, but you're terrified of what that looks like. You know?
Yeah.
And so there can be fear of being too much or outshining other people or being seen too clearly by other people. So there's a vulnerability that's needed here, but also visibility, you know, of how you're being perceived by other people. Past life memories of persecution or collapse may start to rise. You may try to hide your energy again, not because you doubt it, but because you remember what happened the last time you were that bright, which means that there's some type of past life, something that's happening with you right now. And the longing is waking that up. Okay. But there's also fear. Okay. That comes with whatever that memory is. So this card invites compassion. You're not doing it wrong. You're adjusting to your true voltage, which is unfamiliar. And so your ego starts to panic, because your ego is like, hold on, girl, I don't know what this is. I don't have the survival mechanisms built up to, hold on, why are we doing this? You remember what happened last time? Let's not do this. It's like your ego starts to panic. But you got to learn how to nurture yourself and mother yourself through that, because you are on the right trajectory. I just think it's like a teetering. You know, like it's like you go forward, then you go a little bit backwards, then you go forward a little bit. And then
exactly how I feel.
Yeah. And so you just got to learn to trust yourself in this process and understand it's not about perfection. If you fuck up, so what? That's yesterday's issue. Okay. You can't do nothing about yesterday. You can only do something about today. And so today make better choices. But yesterday's issue was yesterday's issue. You ain't even yesterday's girl no more. Okay. So, also, the intensity of oversoul embodiment can overwhelm the nervous system if you're not grounded in practice, which means that you might start to feel disoriented, disembodied, or like you're not quite here, which is you've opened up the door for your oversoul to embody. It starts to come down and then you get overwhelmed. Okay. Yeah. And so you can't integrate it. And so you need to slow down. You need to sit in stillness. And when you feel overwhelmed, you need to breathe through it. Wait for the emotion to pass. Make your decision after that emotion passes. Okay? Because the clarity is after the emotion passes. Okay? And so you open up the door, but it's trying to come down, but you're like, no, I'm not. It's pushing up against all that old shit. And it's like, well, in order for me to come down, the old shit got to go, and you like clinging on to the old shit. You know? And so in the shadow, there's a temptation to spiritually ascend without tending to your body's needs first. You might abandon your physical self while chasing your higher self image, but you need to make sure your body has enough space created for that thing to come down, because your full presence is going to feel dangerous to you if not. And so you got to realize it's divine, but it feels scary because your ego's like, what the fuck is this? I'm trying to know. Hold on. I'm trying to protect us. I don't know what's going on. Why'd you open up this door? Close it. But you can't close it because when you know better, you got to do better. Right. And so don't try to separate your spiritual power from your physical form. They are one and the same, which means you got to prepare your body to be able to take in that much light, which means you got to let go of what's no longer serving you. Okay. Also let go of perfectionism, because you didn't come here to be perfect. We in a society that's pushing us towards perfection, but you came here to be authentic, right? Which means that you're a little messy. It's okay to be a little messy. All of us are a little messy, right? We appear on a spectrum. Okay. So allow yourself to be a mess first, and then we learn through contrast. So sometimes you got to do it the wrong way to figure out what was the right way,
Absolutely.
Allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself space to do that, but you're being reminded that your divinity does not bypass the body. It arrives through it. And so your body has to be prepared, which means there has to be some shadow work. There has to be some releasing of those old things that are no longer serving you. Okay. What are some of those things? The first thing that comes up is lack. You have a lack mindset. Okay. And so this lack mindset is rejection wounds. Sometimes it's victim mentality. Sometimes it's over identifying with struggle. The fear of abundance. What will I do with it when I get it? Can I keep it? It's like that type of energy. It's also martyrdom, prioritizing everybody else's needs in front of your own. Ooh, hate that for us. Right. And I say us because I'm in that group. But also it looks like unworthiness sometimes too, okay? So in the shadow side, the 5 of stone becomes a cycle of self-abandonment. You may have learned to expect lack even when abundance is available to you, because you got to think fear, because that's what lack mindset is. It's fear. You don't want to be broke again. You don't want to be whatever. I don't want to be my mama. I don't want to be, right? It's fear, right? But fear and faith both require you to believe in something you cannot see. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Do it scared. Okay. But this life, you got to learn how to prioritize yourself, because that's how you anchor into your body, and you're supposed to be embodying, right? But your embodiment is upside down, which means you got to pay attention to how things make you feel. It make you feel good. That's a yes. Move towards it. Soul alignment. But if it make you feel bad or confused, because confusion is a no. It's not a thing for you to figure out. It's a no. Okay. Set a boundary, choose another option. Okay. People who live in self-abandonment are people who have learned to expect lack even when abundance is available to them. Perhaps rejection has etched itself into your identity, or you've come to believe that being unsupported is proof of your purpose. Okay. This card also points to emotional or energetic exile, feeling left out, undervalued, or unseen. In these moments, it's easy to internalize the external and decide that the world's silence means that you're unworthy. This is the greatest distortion. Okay, is needing somebody outside of you to validate yourself, because again, we grew up in a society that's been grading us since we were 5. They say you're not good enough, you need to do better. No, do it this way, don't do it that way. Pushing us into perfectionism and pushing us into needing external validation, or needing someone to tell us we're doing a good job in order for us to know it.
Yeah.
Okay, thinking that silence, because we're not doing something, that silence is punishment, or it means that you're out of alignment. None of those things are true. Okay. The truth is this: your worth was never dependent on who chose you. Okay. You're already chosen. The shadow of sacred lack dissolves the moment that you claim yourself, which means you got to learn how to prioritize yourself. Proper support, nurture, and care for other people is built on a foundation of self-love. You're supposed to love yourself in so much abundance that you have all this overflow to pour into other people. But the moment that you stop being in a state of abundance, you don't have nothing. Okay. You can't trust yourself or you can't trust anybody else if you don't trust yourself. Right? And how do you learn how to trust yourself? You build a relationship with yourself, which means all those broken promises that you make into yourself, you got to stick to them, because the version of you who sees you doing that for everybody else, but not yourself, says to itself, they must be worth more than me. So there's a version inside of you who keeps trying to talk to you and keeps trying to say, hey, I need things too. And you like, no, you don't. They need it more than me. Okay. And so don't build a home for what was never meant for you to hold. It was never meant for you to hold it. Build a home based off of what you need, not what everybody else's need. Everybody else needs. When you're in a state of abundance, you can give. When you're not, you don't got nothing. And you do not have to abandon yourself to show up for other people. You do not have to suffer to show up for other people. Okay. Next, we have the king of breath. He is also upside down. And so we're working out of the shadow side of this energy. This is about rigidity. Okay. This is where the perfectionism comes in. Over control, logic over intuition. These are people who are very mental focused. Okay. They have a fixed mindset. Okay. In the shadow, the breath steward becomes overbearing. The desire to guide turns into a need to control. You may find yourself attached to being right or mistaken logic for wisdom, or dismissing emotional or intuitive insight. For me, it feels like dismissing emotional and intuitive insight. Okay. This king forgets that truth is a shared frequency, not a personal possession. And there's also a danger of spiritual elitism, believing your way is the highest way because it is the clearest. Meaning, like, you might be the type of person who's trying to make yourself feel safe by telling people how they need to show up and what they need to be, you know, who they need to be. Okay. Or thinking that it's your way or the highway. You know best for their circumstances. But clarity without humility becomes confinement. The mind may dominate the room, but forgets how to listen. So the advice here is you don't need a throne to lead, just presence that honors every voice, which means, I don't know if this means that you're closed-minded. I don't know if this means that you intellectualize a lot of things instead of relying on your intuition. To me, it points more towards that. But again, you didn't come here to be perfect. And I think when people are trying to be perfect, they need things a specific way, or they have all these high expectations or the ways that they want things to show up. And when they don't show up that way, they become disappointed, right? Or they become attached to a specific outcome, or then they become disappointed. What this card is saying is feel your way through life. Okay. Don't think your way through life, because this is 10% of who you are. This is the most limited, rigid version of yourself. But your body is 90% of who you are. It contains everything. It's what allows you to be the infinite version of yourself. And so you need to feel your way through, not think your way through. Okay.
All right.
Next is the sacred collapse, which means that the board is being cleared. So I don't know if that means that things might be falling apart, or if there is a resistance to change. Okay. Because usually this card is coming up when there's a resistance to change, when there's a fear of surrender, when there's avoidance or collapse denial, like denying that anything is going wrong or thinking that everything is staying the same. But everything is hitting the fan, clinging to any false identities, a fear of failure as well, and a shame because you feel like things are falling apart or things are going wrong or things like that. Okay. And so in the shadow side, the sacred collapse is met with resistance, meaning that spirit is trying to move shit out your way and you clinging on to it. You're just gripped on tight, you know? And so, this is when you may fear letting go of a role, a relationship, a belief system, or a structure that once brought you meaning, but now it imprisons the soul. Okay. You may attempt to spiritual bypass your grief or rush the process of loss, mistaking collapse as failure. This is the ache of trying to resurrect something that was meant to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may try to fix or hold what's crumbling, not realizing that this collapse is sacred. There can be guilt, a fear of being nothing, or shame about not being able to maintain the illusion of stability. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Stability.
Yeah.
Stability. Yeah.
It's so hard though. And what's crazy is that life is ever changing. The only thing that we know for sure is that everything is always changing, right? But our society pushes us towards stability and predictability, and it pushes us into this loop of we got to be perfect all the time. We cannot look like nothing is wrong, right? We got to have it together all the time, but we're constantly going through cycles of death and rebirth. And sometimes that death cycle is moving things out of your way so that you can have more than what you thought that you ever deserved. Right. And so we think it's a bad thing, and it's not. Most of the time it's our team saying, girl, let that go. We got something different for you. Why do you want that? There's so much better out here. Right. And so understand that collapse is not failure. It's an invitation to reform your truth. It's an opportunity for you to reform your truth and live fully embodied in what your truth is. You don't got to settle for shit. You don't have to settle for anything. You can have it all, and so there is medicine in the mess. Let your life be messy. Let yourself be messy. That was probably the best thing that I ever did for myself, is let myself fall apart. I said, I cannot do it no more. I don't think I'm going to make it. I got me a little apartment. I ain't even set that apartment up. I just cried for years in that apartment. Let yourself be a mess, girl. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you're allowed to fall apart. You are not meant to be perfect all the time. You're not meant to be happy all the time, right? But if you're trying to be happy, then you ignore the fact that you're sad. You ignore the fact that something is happening underneath. And if you never feel the feeling, then you're going to have to keep pretending. And that little numb ache is going to stay there. Right. And so you got to acknowledge where you are, and it's okay for you to be sad. You ask yourself, what do I need to help me be comfortable while I'm dealing with this sadness? You don't ignore it though. Right. So in the shadow, it says, I should be over this already. That's what this energy is. I should be over this. I should be at a different place. But that causes you to be dissatisfied with where you are right now. So what your soul is saying, but you're still becoming though. We're becoming something right now. Give us a little time. Give us a little space. Let go and let the fire do what it must do. Let it all burn if it needs to burn. Right? Yeah. So what this card is telling you is stop trying to resurrect what your soul already buried. Make room for a rebirth, and don't cling to old versions of you out of fear of change. You're not that version anymore. You can never go back. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be that version of you again. Because when you know better, you have to do better, right? And so the next card that I get after this is the Four of Breath, which is about quieting your mind. You need stillness. Okay? It's about inner silence. It's about mental recovery. It's about soul integration. And it's about clarity through stillness, which means you're moving too fast. You just got to slow down a little bit. Okay? The Four of Breath invites you into mental stillness, not because nothing is happening, but because something deeper is trying to reach you, and it's knocking at the door. It's like you hear me knocking, let me in, and you done turned off all the damn lights and put the blinds down. And it's like, I thought you asked for me to come over here. That's what it's like, girl, I thought you sent the invitation. And now you don't want me here. So this is the moment when your mind exhales after conflict, confusion, and inner noise. The soul now asks for space to integrate what has been revealed, which means you got to sit with yourself, which means it's going to be uncomfortable. Go to the Dollar Tree, get you some snacks. Okay. Get you a glass of wine if you need a glass of wine. Okay. Get you a notebook, because emotional alchemy means you need presence. You need to sit with the emotion and the uncomfortableness of it, because the information is in the emotion, it's in the resonance. You got to be in the resonance in order for you to understand what it's trying to tell you, right? Ask your body. Don't rationalize it with your mind. Ask your body what it's trying to show you. And then you need to take it from the inside out. That's what alchemy, one place to another. Take it from the inside out, which means journaling, talking to a friend, therapy, putting it into art. Take it from the inside out. That's how you alchemize, okay? You're not disconnected. You are processing. You are not lost. You are trying to listen. At least somebody trying to speak to you and you not listening, but you're trying to listen, right? This card often appears after a period of mental strain and truth activation. It brings the medicine of pause, solitude, and gentle spaciousness. In this silence, oversoul wisdom begins to rise, not as a shout, but as a hum beneath the thought. Okay, so the quiet mind is a space between stories where the next chapter begins to form, but it happens wordlessly, which means you need it quiet so that you could hear. Okay. Silence is not absence. It is where your oversoul speaks the loudest. Society always has us going because we don't have time to think. We don't have time to integrate, which makes us easy to manipulate, which makes us very malleable. Right. But when you slow down and you get on your body's rhythm, meaning when you wake up in the morning before your mind get a chance to jump in, how do you feel? If you feel energetic, go out and be around people. But if you don't, stay home and rest. Be where you are. Right. If you feel sad, it's okay to be sad. Don't try to be happy. Because that's where people fuck up. They try to be happy. Toxic positivity is a real thing. That's avoidance. Yeah. Just be sad. Go get you some comfort snacks and watch a rom-com. You know, do some journaling. Right? Yeah. Be where you are. Okay. Stillness is not absence. That is where your oversoul really gets a chance to speak to you because you're so busy throughout your day. So your oversoul craves stillness so that it can have a conversation with you. Okay. Also get this inverted family energy. Okay. Which can look like you might be trying to do everything for everybody. This is chasing idealized connection, emotional dependency, fear of loss, community obsession, false resonance, or self-abandonment for inclusion. Okay. In the shadow, the flame family becomes a fantasy of perfect belonging, the illusion that once you find your people, everything will heal. You may over-identify with groups, partners, or roles, mistaking proximity for depth. Proximity is not depth. You're just close to them. Okay? Right. There may also be grief beneath it, a fear of abandonment or being left out again or never being truly known. And so this card reflects spiritual codependency, sacrificing parts of yourself to be loved, to be accepted, or to be seen. Okay? Remember, soul family will never ask you to shrink in order for you to stay. Okay? Treat yourself like water. Water forms to whatever container is available. If you feel yourself having to be less than, that container ain't big enough to fit you. Why would you stay in a place that you got to squeeze into? Okay. Instead, go get a bigger container or go get somebody with bigger hands. Okay. So, Flamekin reflects your fullness, not the fragments of you. If you choose to stay in environments where you got to be smaller, you're choosing to fragment. You're choosing to be broken. And that means there's always going to be a part of you that's screaming, hey girl, do you see me over here? Okay. Yeah. Belonging begins with being a home for yourself, which means you have to say, I'm not going to shrink. I'm going to be fully me. And when people come into your life, you are deciding right now as they are without me trying to fix, heal, or save them. Are they in alignment? Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. Next, we get the Six of Waters. And this is about soul memory. Okay. Past life echoes are coming through. So there might have been a martyrdom in a past life. There might be a perfectionism in a past life. But this is about emotional resonance, soul timelines, gentle reconnection, your innocence returning. Okay. So the Six of Waters is memory blooming in your heart. It may be from this lifetime, a scent, a place, a face that reminds you of who you used to be, or it is something older, a soul memory rising deep within the waters, a past life connection, an ancient longing, a gentle return. Okay. The ancient longing is coming up again. Okay. This card invites you to embrace sweet remembrance, not to live in the past, but to retrieve the parts of yourself you left behind there. Okay. It may be time to reconnect to your inner child with early soul gifts or with a person who carries familiarity beyond reason. Okay. This feeling is gentle, it's wistful, it's warm, but you are remembering not just what was, but who you've always been. Okay. And so this is about remembering yourself, which means you can benefit from getting into that inner child energy, meaning like you need to do the things that you love to do as a child. You need to rediscover yourself a little bit. You need to explore yourself a little bit. You know, if you're trying to find your soul family, get in the room with people who have shared values like that you have. So if you like art, go take an art class. Why? Because people in that class like art. You know, if you like Broadway, go to a Broadway play because everybody in there likes Broadway plays, right? So you got to put yourself in environments to explore, and don't stick yourself to specific identities because you're a lot of different things. You're not just one thing. You know, allow yourself to be multifaceted. Allow yourself to be interested in Taekwondo and be a fairy princess. I don't know. Allow yourself to have variety. Like, you don't have to just be one thing, be it all, explore it all, because that's how you get to know yourself. Okay. Memory is the map your soul left for you to follow home, but that memory is in the emotion. Okay. So that means you got to feel. You got to be a feeler.
I've been feeling a lot lately.
Yeah. It's because something is screaming from the inside to be seen. Okay. And then this last card is about you being a multidimensional mirror. But it's also out of alignment, which can look like fragmentation, feeling broken, spiritual overwhelm, identity dissociation, okay, a loss of the present moment, projection. It could look like ego illusion. It could look like spiritual comparison. But in the shadow, the dimensional mirror can lead to over-identification with timelines. You may become caught in past life roles, which I think I think there's some past life energy that's happening here, or distorted karmic loops, losing your presence in the now. Okay. This card may appear when you become overwhelmed by downloads, constantly seeking meaning in every moment, or using multidimensional awareness as a way to escape grounded life. There may be also a fear. Am I doing this lifetime right? What if I repeat the same mistakes? Was I ever truly whole? Right? In the shadow, the dimensional mirror may reflect only what you expect or fear to see. You might be trapped in loops of self-judgment or lost in projections of other people. You may compare your path to someone else's, believing they reflect something that you lack rather than a truth you also hold, meaning like whatever is in other people is in you. It's just all on a different level or different, like what I can do, you can do, but you can do, I can do. You know, it's just at varying levels, you know. Distorted mirrors can lead to disorientation, spiritual bypassing, or identity fragmentation, which means you need to heal from your trauma because you're here to reflect other people. Right. And you can't reflect other people when you're still seeped in the projections of other people. Right. And so what this card is saying, return to your center. The true mirror is always found within, which means you need to go within. These are echoes. These are not truth. The shadow here is not your memory. It is your reaction to it. The remedy is presence. You have to sit present. You're not bound to your past. You are its healer. Okay. You're not bound to your past. You are its healer. The advice here is you are not every version of you. You are the one who remembers all of the versions of you. And that's why I say release your identity attachment. It's okay for you to have been a different person back then than you are now, just because you don't let these moments that you've had be self-defining moments, really. And what I really mean by that is, like, say, for instance, you've been a loyal person your whole life. You do this one thing out of spite, and we'll say to ourselves, I've never been loyal ever. And it's like you have 3,000 pieces of evidence that you're loyal, and this one thing is what makes you say that it wipes 3,000 things away. Right?
That's how I think.
Yes. And so you got to release that energy, though. Release that, because one moment does not define who you are. Right? Look at the full picture, because I think we can become so stuck in polarity, like only one thing can be true at once. That's not true. Right. You are multifaceted, multidimensional being. Multiple things can be true at once. I could be one of the most loyal people that you met, but John Doe down the block might feel like I ain't shit, and I stand on that. I did that shit. I did. Right. However, I'm still a very loyal person, and you can't take that away from me. I just wasn't loyal to you. Right? So it don't have to just be one thing. Let it be a multitude of different things. You know, I'm a accumulation of different things. I'm not a perfect person. I do not claim to be. None of us are. Right. We are all a mess. Right. It's just some people are good at hiding it better than other people. I choose not to hide a damn thing, because I'm gonna be who I am, and I ain't got no shame about it. Right? Yeah. That was yesterday's Taja. Today's Taja, you're talking to a different Taja. Right? Right. So allow yourself to be multifaceted, okay? Don't let distortion become your compass. Meaning, like, just because you have that one momentary lapse of judgment don't mean now that's who you are. No, that's not what it means. Right. You know, we came here to learn through contrast, and sometimes we don't know what's right until we get it wrong. And then we're like, okay, probably shouldn't have did that. Back it up a little bit. Let's try another option. That's it. That's it. And so what you need to release is this identity of perfection. You didn't come here to be perfect. You came here to be authentic. And so it is okay for you to make mistakes. You know, it is okay for you to be a mess. It is okay for you to fail forward. And what you think is failure is not failure at all. It's things are collapsing so that new things can form. You're constantly going through these death and rebirth cycles. So allow yourself to do that. It don't mean you going backwards. Don't think so linearly about it. You going up a spiral. When you get to a point in the spiral, you look down and you see all the places that you've been, but it do not mean that you went backwards to see them. It just you had a higher perspective looking down at the same stuff. Sometimes we deepen our truth as we continue to go up, which means we got to look at some of the same shit that we've been through. And sometimes we'll think that that's a compass and we go in that direction. It is what it is. It does not mean you've erased all the work that you've done. Okay.
Right.
It also, your soul family, it comes from you getting into alignment first. You need to learn how to, outside of people, exist as you are. You need to stand in your integrity regardless of who is around, which means you got to figure out what you like. Look back at the previous versions of yourself. Who have you been? And don't judge those versions because she was just trying to survive to see the next day. Okay. Mm-hmm. She was just trying to protect you, whatever the case may have been. She was doing what she felt like she needed to do in that moment. Do not judge her. Okay. Right. She got you to here. That's the homie. Right. However, we can look at her honestly and say, okay, sister, we're not doing that no more. But I'm glad to know that I have the capacity to show up that way so that I know a strategy to make sure I don't do that shit again. Right. But look at yourself honestly and see the versions of you that you have been, then integrate them, because every single version of you that you have been was trying to help you in some way, shape, or form. They might have went about it the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. They was trying to help, right? Integrate those parts, but also explore yourself. Most people don't know who they are because they're not trying to try nothing. They ain't trying to look weird or crazy or odd or whatever the fuck society says that you are. If you do X, Y, and Z, but no, you are allowed to explore yourself because that's how you get to know yourself. You got to try new things. You got to be willing to fail because it's only that your willingness to fail is what leads you to win. This is business number 4 for me. This ain't business number 1.
Yeah.
You know, it's just weeding out options. This one don't work, you try another one. That one don't work, you try another one.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like kind of the cycle that I've been on in my life.
Yeah.
It's just like learning to embrace it versus feeling ashamed.
Yeah, no, people are gonna tell you that it's chaotic, you don't know what you're talking about, it's not practical, it's la 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 la. Those are people who was not given the vision. If the vision was meant for them, the vision would have been given to them. See, they don't see the vision because it wasn't given to them to see. It was given to you. And it requires you to trust yourself and not trust on everybody else's projections, right? You don't need them to see it. You don't need them to understand. You need you to see it and you to understand. And understand that you got to practice to become the version that you want to be. You have to practice, which means you have to be willing to try.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 2 clothing brands. That wasn't my avenue. That's okay, but when I was doing them, they did very well. I didn't like the production. I try to do it wholesale first and produce cloth. But I learned a lot about business through me doing that. I learned a lot about building connections. You know, I learned a lot in that. You know? I mentor people now. So if people are wanting to start their own business, I know exactly how to get you there. Right?
And so that's something that I've been realizing too. Like nothing that I went through, like just because it failed don't mean that it was in vain. Like
it wasn't a failure. It was a learning lesson. It was an opportunity for you to learn a skill that you did not have. Right? And sometimes those skills come with a little bit of resilience. It is teaching you how to be resilient when things don't work out the way that you plan. Because if you ever own a business, that shit is never the way that you plan. There's always hiccups. There are always things that are going to happen to throw a monkey wrench in the motherfucking pot. And so there is no such thing as failure. You are only weeding out options. Either this option is going to work or it's not. And that's the way we need to reprogram our brain, because you are never failing. You literally came here to remember who you are, which means you have to remember. You put an arm go over here, arm go over there, but you don't know what are the pieces to your puzzle until you go look for them. It's like Pokemon Snap. You got to go out there and find the Pokemons.
Right.
You know, and so you got to allow yourself to be everything and nothing at all. Be everything that exists in other people exists in you in some capacity. So what? Be a mess. When I started being a mess and stopped being perfect, it changed my life because I got to truly explore myself. And I laugh at myself all the time because I really am. I play too much, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you got to play. Right?
Yeah.
And so it allowed me to give myself a lot more grace. It allowed me to make decisions that I actually want to make instead of making decisions based out of fear. Because when you're trying to be something, when you're trying to be perfect, you're making decisions based off what other people want you to be, not what you actually want. You know, and so what you need to release is this need for things to happen fast. Okay, things are not going to happen fast. That's rooted in mental energy, not body energy. Mental energy is fear-based energy. It's not going to be sustainable. Okay, you actually need to sit in stillness and figure out what it is. Stop gaslighting yourself. Trust yourself the first time. Don't ask nobody else's opinion because the vision is not for them. It was given to you because it is for you. Fuck them people. Okay. Your mind, learn how to manage it. Your mind is lying to you all the time. It's 10% of who you are, and it works based out of assumption. We are perceiving reality based off what we think is happening, not what's actually happening, which means you got to take a curious approach to the mind. Don't think that you know everything. Be a student of life, right? And when your mind is telling you a story, you need to figure out whether or not you believe it. Do I actually believe what is coming through right now? Is this aligned with me or is this not aligned with me? And if it's not, don't focus on what you don't want to happen. Focus on what you actually would like to experience instead. I do this exercise with my mentees and it fucks them up every single time because I'm just like, okay, if you want financial stability, what would you be experiencing? And they're like, well, I won't be experiencing that. I won't be. Well, that is you focusing on the negative, and the universe is going to grant you abundance of the negative if you think about it that way. Instead, what you would like to experience is being able to swipe your card without looking at your bank account. You know? Right? That's what you would be experiencing. So that should be what you're basing that measurement off of, not I want $1 million. Right? What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? What will you be doing that is going to get you there? You need to kind of look at what you value and then reprioritize your life around what you value based on what you want to experience as well, because the high expectations or being too far in the future is going to make you dissatisfied with where you are now, and you treating yourself like you're broken and that there's a problem. There's not a problem. You're just becoming something else, which is causing your ego to fucking panic. Because you've never been this version of yourself before. And then don't try to make the perfect step, because if you're trying to make the perfect choice, it'll cause you from making a choice altogether. Okay? There is no perfect choice. Go with whatever you think is going to make you feel the best. And then when it stops feeling good, change gears.
Wow, that really resonates.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my aunt about that earlier. Right now, I live with my uncle, and he basically told me, like, it's time for the next step. Like, what you gonna do? And I never had my own place because I'm scared. Like, I don't feel like I would be able to maintain it. Just all the stuff, like, with that, I never did it before. So I'm scared. But, like, I feel like that's what I need
to do it. Just do it, because I will say, I think everybody should at least one time in their life live alone. Like, nobody else there, no roommate, no nothing, just you. Because then it allows you to show up authentically, and you'll see the thing, like all of the tap dancing you've been doing to keep up appearances for other people. It shows you that. And so living alone gives you so much. It gives you so much. It gives you space to fully be present with yourself. It gives you space to fully be you without feeling like you need to get up and jump and do your hair and jump and do this and jump. Like you need to. Living alone is where it's at. I started living alone. I said, ain't nobody else ever moving in this bitch. I had a friend call me, asked me to stay with me. You got 2 months to the day. I'm not fucking around. Okay. 2 months and 2 months only. Get your ass out. Figure it out by then, or you're going to have to go somewhere else. Okay? My home is my safe space. You need a safe space, because that's when your energy starts to land, when you're not being witnessed. I think so many of us, because we live in society that's constantly grading us, we are being witnessed all the time, which means we're doing specific things just so that we don't have people judging us. When you live in your own place, you're not being witnessed by nobody but you.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and so that'll give you an opportunity to explore yourself. You got this.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
excited to
you.
see what that looks like, my love. And I'll send you some rituals and stuff for you to do to kind of get yourself in alignment. But I think that you gotta just do it scared.
Yeah.
Just do it
That's
while
how
you
I feel
scared.
too. Yeah.
And I think
Just
too,
do it.
we always looking at the worst possible scenario. Trust that you're gonna know how to figure it out, and trust that if you don't, you got family and you got a support system that's gonna help you.
Exactly.
You know, so
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
got
I'm
this.
young. I don't got no kids, nothing like that. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like I can do it.
You can absolutely do it, and you get to decorate it the way you want to decorate it. Like it's like it's like there's something about having your own place. Just like it's like you expressing yourself. You know,
Yes.
nobody else is influencing where this goes there and that goes. Like no, it's like, and then when you come home, your shit is exactly where you left it.
Exactly.
Exactly to a T where you left it. You know, you deserve to experience that. So yeah, so what I would say that's basically what I have to say about what needs to end. It's just this perfectionism. You need to just do it a little bit scared. You know, you need to trust yourself. And just know that you have it. If you need help or if you need somebody to talk you through it or just shake you a little bit, you got access to me through the chat. And don't think you're gonna be a burden on me because I got a million clients reaching out to me a day. And I go through every single message because I did my journey alone. And I don't think that people should be able to or should have to do this shit alone. We just don't be talking about the stuff we need to talk about, you know? And so I am creating space for you. And so don't think that you're a burden. Send me a voice message or a voicemail, voice note, or you can just type it out, whatever works best for you. But yeah, I'm here if you need me.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, my love. Have an amazing rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
Alrighty, bye. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do another reading because I've been on here for 2 hours and I gotta pee. And I've been working since 8 o'clock this morning. And so chat, and Kayla, is that who it is? Is that who it is? So we got Kayla. And we got chat. Yes, I will be on tomorrow, both of y'all. I'm gonna send y'all a message with how to get me through Telegram because if I do a live reading for y'all, I like to send y'all resources and stuff. I don't like to just leave y'all out there all free, willy-nilly. Right. So I'm gonna send y'all a message as soon as I get off of live. But I will be on tomorrow. Hold on, let me look at my calendar. I should be on tomorrow, maybe around this same time. Yeah, no, I would probably say about 3:30 tomorrow Pacific time. So that's 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. But once y'all send me a message, I'm going to send y'all a message as soon as I go live through Telegram. Okay. So I'm going to send you a message with instructions for that. Thank you to the two ladies that came up today, Armani and Amanda. Thank y'all for allowing us to witness y'all. That is not an easy thing to do. But hopefully that there was a message in there for other people who are watching on live. This will be on my YouTube immediately after that. That's BIGTAJJ on YouTube. I love y'all deep. I will see y'all tomorrow. Alrighty. Bye. You are so very welcome. All right.